When we first looked at scientific notation in the fall, one thing we practiced doing was spacing things out nice and big. So 5, 7, comma, 0, 0, 0, comma, 0, 0, 0, so that we have enough room to really track how the decimal's moving. I don't see one, so I assume it's at the end of the number. I'm going to shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. That means I know my exponent's going to be 7. Sometimes people think because we're heading to the left, it's almost like it's down the number line, we're going to have a negative exponent. So that's why we try hard not to focus too much on left or right, but just the size of the numbers. In the context of distance from the sun, if I look at the context of all the rest, I know it should be a positive exponent because it's a large value. Since I moved my decimal right there, my first number will be 5.7, and it's always times 10 raised to a power. So for the first one, 5.7 times 10 to the 7th. One kind of common mistake that I see people do, they skip from here to here, and they just stop when the zeros are done. The rule for this first number is that it always should be between 1 and 10, or we could think of it as having one digit, one value in front of the decimal place. The next thing I want to point out is the fact that scientific notation makes it really easy to compare and order these numbers. So for example, these two that I've highlighted here, they have the same exponent. That means they have the same order of magnitude, was a term you heard yesterday. That means they're the exact same kind of scale, and we're able to focus on the coefficients 1.08 and 1.5 to decide which one's larger. So again, down here, they have the same order of magnitude. So I know that 2.88 is greater than 1.43. This is going to be the greater value. For converting in the other direction, we'll go over one example of that. If I had a number written in scientific notation and I wanted to convert it back to standard form, I'd write out 2.88. I know that the exponent tells me how many times to move the decimal place. I know I need to move the decimal place 9 times. I'm going to move it in whichever direction makes this a larger number. So again, instead of worrying too much about positive or negative, I'm going to start shifting whichever way makes the number larger. That was 2. I'll shift 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So my decimal will be way out there. Really carefully, I'm going to fill in the extra places with zeros and go from there.